Hello, my name is Christoph McCallan. I'm a consultant orthopaedic surgeon in Plymouth in the United Kingdom, and I'm lead surgeon for the Kenya Orthopaedic Project. In Kenya Orthopaedic Project, we're aiming to try and improve the outcome following injury for patients. Trauma is one of the leading causes of disability in the world, and in low-income countries, trauma is a much more common problem than in richer parts of the world. The disability that results from untreated trauma is a hidden problem. We often think of patients in poorer parts of the world as accepting their plight if they've been injured and they don't get adequate treatment. Our experience has shown us that these patients do not accept it and are very depressed by it. Their extended family is often affected by the fact that there is no breadwinner. And so where one person injures themselves, the effects are felt in the wider family. Kenya Orthopaedic Project is a small charity. We don't have any employees. All of the organisation is done by volunteers. This means that all your donations will go either directly to providing instruments or implants to treat Kenyan patients, or go towards the travel costs for UK volunteers to visit Kenya. Kenya Orthopaedic Project aims to partner with healthcare teams in Kenya to improve the care for local patients. We do that by working side by side in the clinical environment, both in the outpatient clinic and also in the operating theatre. Kenya is a country with an organised health care system, but it's very rudimentary. Hospitals exist in every small town in the country, but these hospitals are very poorly funded, and patients have to fight to get any form of good medical care across the board. And that includes in a specialty like orthopaedics and trauma. So many patients in Kenya injure themselves, and unlike in the UK, they don't have ready access to good orthopaedic treatment. That means that even simple breaks, such as a fractured ankle or a fractured femur or a hip fracture, often goes untreated in Kenya. So patients who are often quite young injure themselves and then find themselves permanently disabled for the rest of their life. These are often young men that have a very extended family who they support. So a young man with a broken femur, not only is it a catastrophe for him, but it's also a disaster for his family. And his family may include elderly relatives who he supports. With modern orthopaedic care, such as the sort of skills that we can bring to Kenyan hospitals, patients with hip fractures and with femoral fractures can recover fully the same way that they would in the United Kingdom.
We've put a nail in the femur, and they had a mobilisation under anaesthetic of his knee because it was very stiff from being in traction. We've put him in a boot to stabilise his ankle and allow his knee not to hyperextend. Okay? Let's go. Okay, I can see this one. Okay. So it's quite weak, he doesn't have the strength of his muscles yet to lift the leg. Let's go. Okay, hands up.
The skills and instruments and implants needed to perform these operations are not readily available. We aim to bring implants and instruments to local hospitals and then work side by side with the local teams to help bring up their skills and knowledge so that then when we leave they can perform these operations independently. So far we've been partnered with 4 different hospitals in Kenya, and we continue to make sure that each of our partnerships moves on in a manner that eventually we can leave a hospital with a functioning trauma service. In November 2015, we came across Gladys. She's in her 80s, but still plays a very important part of family life. She normally goes to the market and shops, and although she's diabetic, she generally regarded herself as fit and well until she fell over and broke her hip. The normal treatment in Kenya for this would be just to lie in bed for 6 weeks until the severe pain had settled, and then try and get back to walking. However, we know that this is really not going to lead to a very good result. It's very likely that she's going to find it difficult to walk, and the sort of supports and aids that you would have in the United Kingdom just aren't available to her. Frequently, patients like Gladys develop pressure sores and often die within the first year after their injury. We were able to offer Gladys an operation to perform half a hip replacement for her, and she was able to get up after the operation and get moving again.
7-year-old lady who had a fall, unfortunately from a standing height, and sustained this left subcapital femoral neck fracture. By the time we had seen her, it had been several weeks and she was having very miserable pain, had very limited ability to get around given her age and her injury. So yesterday we performed a hemiarthroplasty on her left hip, which went remarkably well, and she's now back on the ward and has been very comfortable. And you doing well? You feel okay? Good. Cassie, we're going to take a look at her wound. And her opposite looks wonderful. This looks great. Very good. Congratulations. Very well done. Keep up the good work. And today she will work with our wonderful physios and hopefully get up and take a few new steps on her brand new hip. So we're very happy.
Although she was diabetic, we considered that this was the best treatment for her, and our Kenyan colleagues agreed. Managing patients without surgery like Gladys is really difficult. Our Kenyan colleagues really want to make progress with us in improving treatment for these patients. In the United Kingdom, we know that our hospitals often have few beds for patients that need to come into hospital. In Kenya, the situation is far worse. The wards are often overcrowded and frequently patients need to share beds. The general nursing care available to patients is very limited. What we take for granted in the United Kingdom in terms of pain relief and monitoring for patients who are unwell is difficult to provide in a Kenyan hospital. Patients often live in overcrowded wards for months at a time with very little chance of getting a good outcome. When we visit these hospitals, we find that we can help with simple measures such as improving pain relief for patients both before and after their operations. Kenya Orthopaedic Project is a small charity. Any money that you donate will go directly either to providing instruments or implants for Kenyan patients, or will be used to help our volunteers get to Kenya.
Samuel Kinyanjui, orthopedic technologist in Nyahururu Hospital, and I'm very grateful for the project. It has really come to help our patients who are in need, because basically all of us are not equal in terms of cost. But the patients that we have attended, those who have benefited from side nails, those who have benefited from sprints, we are very, very, very grateful. And we pray that this charitable organization should grow and continue advancing as we collaborate with our colleagues, our doctors, and everybody.
Yeah, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you, the great people of the UK, because for one of the things that you have been doing here. Now, you may never appreciate your legs. You don't know how important it is for you to be able to walk, for you to be able to dance, for you to be able to go to pee. Because you can imagine that patient there who has got fractures in both legs. He's hopeless, cannot get the legs done. He has to get somebody to give him a bedpan to pee. He has to know what kind of food to eat, because he cannot just take himself to the toilet. But now with your help, with your fixtures that you are bringing, with the legs being put those implants, this man has a hope to walk again. He has a hope to start his life afresh. Going to the toilet, going to play, going to work, going to churches, going to social places. Thank you so much. You have saved somebody's life. You've given somebody back his pride.